Okay, now close your eyes and listen carefully. Now, was that a semi-pistol or an M92? If you guessed any of these, you're completely wrong, and you must watch this video in its entirety, because that was clearly the 1911 from World at War Zombies, and any horse school farmer would have known this.
And that's lithium, they said that sounds for placeholders.
Yes, my child, but they said the same thing about cliffs when the HDRP was released, and look where we are now. But since you guys have the attention span of a moth, let's get right to the chase. I made a scale using the metric system, sorry Americans, for you to not only be able to tell the different weapons apart, but also determine their range. Have in mind that one map grid square is equal to 150 square meters. But things have changed a lot since the last update, so I'll show you my extensive research. These are the categories I divided my findings, conforming pistols, spray weapons, and finally semi-automatic. In each scenario, you'll see my point of view, and then my friend Aura showcasing the different distances and how they affect the sound. You'll also notice we measure thoroughly from 60 to 83 meters. And this is because here's where weapons change sounds immensely. Alright, let's quickly check if the Revo sound changed. We were completely shocked to find out that past 83 meters, you can only see the reload animation. You cannot hear a single gunshot. Next up, we tested the new Day 1 Tech Tree Meta, the P2. That is ridiculous. That is actually ridiculous. We tested the old reliable Python. And then the weapon that I'll never use again. And of course, we couldn't give a proper review of all pistols without mentioning the Yoke pistol.
Here's before. Here's after.
Now, did that teach you something? I don't really care. And I have to maintain audience retention on a video about shooting absolutely nothing. So here's a funny video of a monkey trying to eat rice. Let's move on to the spray category. One that I would say changed the most, and it's crucial to start getting familiar with. I start off with the custom SMG, and right off the bat you'll be able to tell that this weapon sounds way bassier, and it's probably the loudest out of all spray weapons. The difference with the sound with the range was admittedly impressive. Let's try with the Tommy now. Now that's a noticeable difference. Tommy and MP5 used to be a big hit, but now without holo or laser sight, they're complete bloom shit. The LR is as reliable as always, but there's something that doesn't just feel quite right yet at the moment. And this one was one hell of a controversial sound change, but I gotta say that it started to grow on me. Okay, now we're almost done with all spray weapons, but dare to click off this video and I'll press my doomsday button and release my ferocious horde of monkeys and take over the world. But if you're enjoying the video, leave a like and subscribe. That would be very puckers. And I would think that it's only proper that we finish the spray category with the M2 and the new crafted handmade LMG.
Watch this.
Now the semi-auto category shouldn't take long, since only the first two weapons that we're gonna showcase change sounds and all the other ones are pretty much the same. Starting with the semi, and this thing is an absolute beast right now. Following up with the M39, not really my weapon of choice at the moment. Now I think we can brush off L96 and Volti pretty quickly since they really haven't changed in sounds, but they have changed in the range in which we can hear them. And don't you even think we're gonna take our time with shotguns, because we all know that they all sound the same. So we're gonna do this faster than my ex left me for my best friend. Here is a quick chart that includes which sounds you'll be able to hear at what range. To simplify it, I limit it to sound audible within 6 meters, within 60, within 102, and up to 215, since explosions like rockets have no range limit. No sound. If you don't believe me, here's the same test with the AK. So if the next time you hear someone reloading, watch your back. Next up would be silencers that can be heard up to 39 meters, which means that bows are technically louder than silenced guns. And I don't know why this is even relevant, but clapping is louder than silencers at 43 meters. Following up with more facts that nobody asked, in-game voices can be heard up to 54 meters, and here is the proof.
Banana hammock. Rambalana ding dong. Ooh, that's a spicy meatball. Somebody touching my spaghetti. Hey, can you still hear me?
With trees, you'll notice that we'll hear the melee sound within the 60 meters, but the tree falling can be heard up to 102 meters.
Did you hear that?
No. Then footsteps up to 60 meters, both geared and barefoot. Okay, I can hear that. I cannot hear that? Then we tried X-Plamo, and the weapon that is firing the rounds cannot be heard past the 83 meters, but the explosion sound is still audible and doesn't change at all until the player de-renders, which is at 300 meters. Finally, we have the rocket launcher, which has the same feature as the X-Plamo, having no sound with the weapon itself past the 83 meters. No sound. But notice how much the sound changes between 60 and 83. At 60 having more of a cow sound, and closer to 83 more of a po. Now shall we trace back to the beginning? And no jokes this time. Can you tell which weapons these are in the right order? If you guessed correctly, you've learned something in this video, and that makes me happy. If not, here's a hug for you. You'll get there sometime. I'm doing the inverse anime marks to it too. I'm gonna die. I spent like 20 minutes on that. I'm gonna fucking cry.